What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dave Show. My name's Dave, I'm your host, and today I'm just going to do a quick review of my everyday carry for 2025. It's all the YouTube hotness, everyone's doing it, so if you guys like what I'm showing you, give me a thumbs up, hit that, subscribe, notification, all that stuff. Getting some comments on the videos now. That's great. Keep them coming, please. I appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into it. So first, we'll go simple. Wallet right here. This is a magnetic kind of bill flap. I only have a single $1 bill. If you're broke like me, hit the subscribe button down below. Anyways, I've had this wallet for, I don't know, a long time, at least probably more than 5 years now. I got this as like a random Christmas present, and I love the thing, honestly. I mean, it's starting to wear through a little bit here, the metal on the magnet, stuff like that, but you got a billfold, you got a slot for 2 cards, and then up in here you've got your remainder of your cards. It's just an open sleeve portion. But it's nice, it's compact. I know a lot of people say, pickpockets, all that, you should carry your wallet in your front pocket. I carry it in my back pocket. It is what it is. But yeah, great wallet. I want to find a new one of these soon. Preferably like an American-made leather, something like that. So if anyone knows anything similar and you could let me know, let me know down below, and I'll definitely pick one up and tell you guys about it and use it every day. Moving on next here, I carry a Benchmade. I believe it's called the Griptilian. It's got a frame lock on it, folder. These knives are great. I've had this knife for, I don't know. Again, I've had this knife probably for about 7 or 8 years. I just use one of those quick, easy hand sharpeners, run it down the blade probably like once a week, but this thing just keeps going. I use it to open boxes. I mean, I've cut a bunch of extension cords and like Romex and stuff with this. I have cut my lunch with it at work many a time. But this is just a great knife. I love the frame lock. A lot of people talk about Benchmade and how their quality's gone downhill lately. I don't know, because this knife, is like 7 or 8 years old, but it's served me really well. It's 530 veal, what? Jesus, sorry. S30V steel. It's a Mel Purdue design from Benchmade, but these frame locks are great. They're super easy to open and close one-handed. Definitely recommend everyone carry a folder of some kind. This one's been great for me. And yeah, moving on from there, I carry this Streamlight ProTech. This is a 350 lumen light, push button. It runs on a single CR123 battery. This is the flat dark earth or something version of it. But I've had this thing for like, I don't know, 2 years now, and it's still going strong. It's got some wear on the finish here, like you can see, and up around the bezel and stuff like that. But overall, it's a great flashlight, and the cool thing about this too is it actually will run on, I run a single CR123 in here, but you can also run it with a single AA battery, but you just cut your lumen output from 350 down to 150 lumens. But it's just nice to have that option. If you got a CR123, you don't have a backup, it shits the bed. Might be a little easier for you to find a AA and get this thing up and running again. But yeah, it's great. And then obviously these kind of Streamlight and other tactical type of flashlights have these bezels on them, so you can smash someone in the head with it, use it as a kind of blunt weapon object. But it's just nice, like you can bring these on airplanes, I think. I don't really fly too much, but you can bring this a lot of places that you can't bring something like a knife or a firearm or anything else like that. So for $35, these are a great investment. They come in black, and then they come in this kind of gold tan color, but I love this light. I actually want to get a couple more just to have some backups and put them in some other kits and stuff like that, but I do carry this on me every day. It's kind of funny because my knife, I keep these both in my right pocket, and so this is from this just rubbing up against my knife every day. That's what that wears from, just from the plastic of the knife. But overall the finish has held up pretty well, so I can't complain. Aside from that, Bic lighter. Always keep a Bic lighter on me. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but if you're into everyday carry, if you're into kind of preparedness or just self-reliance, you should probably be carrying a lighter on you at a bare minimum. Aside from that, we'll get into the more juicy part of it. This right here. So this is my Glock 43X. I carry it in a Blacksmith Tactical. I believe it's the V2 holster from them. Blue carbon fiber. These are great holsters. It's got double clips, and these clips are offset. So when you put this in your belt line, it pushes the grip into your body, which is nice because it helps conceal that, helps stop it from printing, everything else. Great holsters. I found out about these guys actually through another YouTube channel. This guy, Spin Firearms, I think he calls it, but it's spelled SPN Firearms. Great everyday carry content. That dude's awesome. He doesn't know who I am or anything, but I love his channel, so shout out to him. That's where I found out about these Blacksmith Tactical holsters, and now I recommend them to everybody because I think they're great. On my 43X, it's pretty simple. I'm just running a Holosun EPS carry right there. Shield Arms Magwell. And then these are night vision 1/3 co-witness sights, but these are actually too tall for this optic. I don't know if you can see really, but they do kind of cover a lot of the window there. And that's because I originally had a Holosun 407K on this, which is an open emitter, bigger green dot. I do have slight astigmatism, so I've found that the smaller 2 MOA dots in the red works better with my eyes in particular. So I upgraded to this Holosun EPS carry, which is great because it's fully enclosed. And if you're carrying this in your waistband, appendix, whatever, every day, at least for me personally, like, I mean, you can see I'm kind of a hairy guy. I get dry skin in the winter, so it's nice to just be able to kind of wipe off any type of lint or dead skin, hair, all that stuff without having to use a Q-tip or canned air or whatever it is you're going to try to use to clean that open emitter optic out. So I upgraded to this. I am going to switch these out for another type of night vision sight that's a little bit lower, probably closer to like the stock iron sights that you would get without an optic, or, you know, non-optics ready. And that should work pretty well. I always witness mark my optics just so I make sure that thing's going to stay good and tight on there. A lot of people talk about how they don't trust the Glock MOS system and everything else, and I understand that, and I don't necessarily disagree, but at the same time, on the slimline Glocks, like on the 43X on this plate on here is just a spacer. So you're direct threading the optic screws down into the slide. You're not screwing a plate and then screwing to the plate. It's still direct threading down. The only thing with this EPS carry is I did buy the screws. I didn't use the screws from Holosun. This is the plate from them that came with the optic, but I bought these from Calculated Kinetics, and it's a little higher quality screw, and it also is cut down on the extractor side, so it doesn't induce any malfunctions. You don't have to worry about that. Anything else. As far as the magwell is concerned, oh yeah, this is clear, by the way. As far as the magwell is concerned, I don't really notice that it prints a little more with the magwell, but I do like how I can really lock my grip in here on it, like so. and it does help with reloads, all that kind of stuff, what have you. When I carry this, I also carry a spare mag with a Neo Mag pocket clip. These things are pretty awesome. I just started doing this recently, but I definitely like it. It's an easy reach into the pocket. You don't have to deal with anything else poking you or being uncomfortable. Like, yeah, that Kydex holster is comfortable, but it's not, you don't want to add another piece of Kydex inside your pants if you can help it, right? So in the off chance that you're in a defensive shooting and you have to perform some sort of reload, I'd rather have this in my pocket than not have it at all, because quite frankly, before I started using this, I did not have, I had this free floating in my pocket, if anything. So I think these are great. Check them out. I think they're like, I don't know, 30 or 40 bucks maybe, if that. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them all over the place. I also carry in the gun, I carry Federal HST 124 grain. These aren't the Plus P, they're just the standard 124 grain. They're a little cheaper. And I like being able to shoot the same grain weight bullet and the same load of powder when I train and when I carry. That's the primary reason I do that. If I were to carry a Plus P load, yeah, it would be a little hotter. You'd have a little more velocity coming out of the gun, but at the same time, if I'm shooting 124 grain ball ammo, which I do exclusively, I don't buy 115 grain or anything else. So I shoot 124 grain ball and I carry 124 grain hollow point. That's kind of my philosophy behind that. The other thing too, I'm still trying to work out, because these aren't very comfortable to carry in my personal opinion, but you should always have if you got something to make holes, you should have something to fix holes. So at a minimum, you should have a tourniquet, and ideally you should also carry, which I don't do, I need to, you should carry some sort of gauze, whether that be hemostatic or just regular gauze, to be able to pack wounds in junctional areas. Because tourniquets will solve 50% of your problem with an uncontrolled bleed, especially like in a gunfight or something like that, at your extremities. Excuse me. But if you take something anywhere else, like up here in the groin area, I hope you don't get shot at all, but you know what I'm saying. It'd be good to be able to pack that wound and be able to buy yourself more time before a higher level of care arrives. Last but not least, I use the Next belt. Kind of still see it on here. Next belt, EDC belt, I guess it's called. It ratchets like that. It's super easy to adjust. And why this is nice is because if you're carrying appendix and you sit in a chair, it's nice to be able to kind of loosen this up a little bit, or when you're driving, especially like when I'm driving and I have I'm carrying my gun appendix. What I like to do is I take the seat belt and I tuck it in between my body and the back side of the gun, and I'll loosen my belt up so that I can do that, because if I ever get in a car accident, I don't want the seat belt to impale me with my concealed carry when I have it. These Next belts are great. This is the Warrior Poet Society edition one, which I kind of like that channel still. That guy's pretty cool, but also, I don't know, I just bought it off his website because that's the first place I saw him for sale. I've had this for about 2 years. It's held up pretty good. It is starting to break a little bit. Like, I'm starting to get spots on it where it's whatever is inside here. I don't know if it's plastic or whatever. Yeah, here's where the real break in it is. But it has kind of snapped right there. I don't really notice it when I'm wearing the belt. It hasn't really affected the function. I'm assuming it's probably going to do that in more places as I keep using it. But as far as I'm concerned, like I said, I've had this for about 2 years. It's just starting to break in these places. I'd say that's a pretty good deal. I'll probably get another year or two out of it, and then I'll have to get another belt, but I'm happy with that. I do kind of prefer the leather belts, but the biggest problem I have with every leather belt I've ever owned... Sorry, I gotta drink some water because I'm like... I don't know, stuttering. But my problem with the leather belts is where your buckle is, the middle prong on the buckle, it always ends up stretching out the holes on the leather belt. And then you have to start making new holes in between, or you go to the next tightest hole and that stretches out. And it kind of drives me crazy. And it's not adjustable. So if you're carrying a gun, I would definitely recommend this over leather. But in general, that's my gripe with all the leather belts I've owned through my life. And this is actually the first belt that I've worn consistently that's not leather. So, yeah, that rounds it out. If you guys think I need to add anything, let me know. I don't usually wear watches a lot. I'm thinking about buying a new one, though, and starting to wear a watch again every day, because I do like to not have to look at my phone when I want to know what time it is. But I don't know, they just kind of annoy me sometimes, and if I got to stick my hand somewhere, like especially at work, like in construction, or if I'm at home working on vehicles, doing anything like that, or I fish a lot, what have you, sometimes it just snags on stuff, or if it gets wet and then you get water trapped under it, it drives me insane. Even sweating with the watch on kind of drives me insane. But I don't want to wear a pocket watch, and I don't want to have to look at my phone all the time. So I do think I'm going to look into getting a new watch. There's a company called like Bertucci, I think it is. They don't make pizza. That's Bertucci's, but they make watches, I guess. Some of their watches look really cool. They got some solar powered, kind of like the Citizen Eco Drive style watch. So I'm going to be trying one of those out soon too. But yeah, that about wraps it up. If you guys like the video, again, comment, like, please subscribe. The channel's growing. I have been slacking on my videos. My family, like, we've all been sick on and off for the last, like, month and a half, 2 months, basically since Thanksgiving. So it's been a bit of a struggle. So I appreciate, if you're already following, you guys bearing with me for that. And I do want to get on a more consistent, ideally more than once a week upload schedule. We'll see how that goes. It's a work in progress. I'm still learning. Like, I just bought a microphone actually for the channel, and I just went to use them tonight, and I forgot to charge it. But I didn't want to wait to charge it to make a video, so I just sent it without it. But I do have a microphone now, so sometimes I know when you're reviewing like bags and stuff like that, you can be messing with it. It can mess with your voice audio quality, stuff like that. So I do have a microphone now, and I am trying to kind of up my production quality slightly. So yeah. Anyways, thanks guys. I hope your New Year's going well so far, even with all the crazy stuff that's going on. And I'll be back in touch soon with some more content. And until then, I will see you later.